Best out of three, of course. Reason up 1-0 now. What is the losers bracket round 3 here? Winner will play the loser of the Sync versus Willowkeeper series. Of course, as they are in the winner bracket finals, and again, they'll play later today, or so after this series here. Set for 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European time, but, you know, depending how long this one goes, could be pushed back, could be at the default time, we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, point being, good back-to-back great matches coming at you here. And what a way to start it off there, a 70-minute game, ultimately going in favor of Reason Gaming with that late game. But interesting start here. We got the Puppet Master, Ophelia, Tempest, and Parasite bans. Very heavy jungle bans between these two teams. Yeah, then you got Cthulhu Font first pick.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting because what Reason I've done is, because normally you'd probably see the ban on the Swiftblade, but Swiftblade's actually left unbanned, but so is the Cthulhu Font, and this is something that actually in last game Null sort of had a little bit of oversight, because they banned the Cthulhu Font, which allowed Swiftblade to be instantly picked up, but now for Reason they've allowed Swiftblade, Cthulhu Font, and Magnus to be left on the board, so at least they can keep themselves, at least one of them. Nullstone are going to take the Swiftblade, so probably a little bit in favour of Nullstone already, but at least Reason have some kind of counter with obviously the Magnus in that respect in terms of power levels.
Yeah, I mean, what do you make of the Tempest ban, by the way? Because
it's just a ban so that they can pick up, or it allows Swiftblade and Cthulhu Font to be on the board, kind of thing.
Yeah,
they're not too bothered about the hero itself. It's a good hero that would probably be banned in the second phase, but they didn't want to ban Cthulhu Font or Swiftblade because then Nullstone would get one of them, and you wouldn't get any kind of counter response in terms of a strong hero. At least they got Magnus now. At the same time, I mean, they did have the opportunity to first pick the Swiftblade, which I was kind of surprised they didn't, but regardless.
Yeah, they value the Magnus over there on Recent Gaming, so that's two heroes that, especially the one in Cthulhu Font, that's usually in that banning phase. The fact that Nullstone's able to get both of them, Recent Gaming, they better have a good plan here.
That's true.
Match up against them.
I mean, normally Nullstone's played in... Swiftblade and Cthulhu Font are both played in similar roles normally, both suicides. Obviously, Swiftblade can play carry, but I think if there's a role for Swiftblade, I think it should be suicide, put simply.
Yeah.
The hero, it just fits so well, because like normally with Swiftblade, you don't want to rush Rune Cleaver, but if you play a short lane Swiftblade, you kind of are forced to in that respect. And the hero is just great suicide altogether. But.
Cthulhu Font also another one of these heroes that is going to be getting a little bit of the nerf bat next patch, and understandably so. So yeah, we got both Cthulhu Font and Swiftblade, both heroes that are getting a little bit of that next patch.
It's quite interesting actually. I was speaking to Saint Rocks the other day, and I sort of posed a question to him, saying because we was watching or we was casting a lot of scrims from both of these teams. I think it's Nullstone and I think it might be Sync as well, and they're still picking up like Cthulhu Font and Swiftblade. And I asked, do you think it's wise for them to be playing heroes that are going to get nerfed next patch? And yeah, it's kind of interesting though, because obviously they are going to get nerfed. Maybe they still think they're good enough after the patch, but you'd think that they should start playing heroes that are going to be not nerfed next patch.
But hey, at the same time, if they're still strong, you might as well use them until.
Yeah, but in scrims though, like when you're practicing, like in competitive games, I'd agree. But in scrims, like they're still practicing with it, but it's like, aren't they going to be somewhat worthless?
Yeah, well, it's exactly that's the thing. Like, who knows how much that really is going to hurt them? So
it's just an interesting question to be raised there, nonetheless.
Yeah. Next year, band's coming out here. Of course, you see the Chipper final pick, a very active lineup picked by Reason Gaming here. So, for the sake of the spectators, if anything, hoping that at least a little more of an action-packed game here, in terms of earlier to that mid-game at least. So, but yeah, Reason Gaming definitely has a lineup that speaks for it so far. And if it's not really action-packed, then you probably think it's going to be their fault, and probably not for their better here. So, Empath, Chipper, Magnus, got the bands coming out. Clanks, Oogie, Electrician, Dr. Repulsor happening here. So very interesting bands, man. If we were seeing these bands at the beginning of the season, we must have thought this was like a remake game or something. But no, these are legit bands at this point.
I don't think Electrician could have been picked up here by Reason. I mean, obviously Reason love Electrician, but 4 heroes that really don't scale too well into the late game, I think would be a little bit too much. I think Reason might follow us up with maybe like a dual call, which they did in the last game, and then have Chipper and Magnus and Empath as sort of playmakers in that respect. But we'll have to see.
Nullstone gonna put some thought into their 4th pick here. Again, already with that very powerful Cthulhu Font Swiftblade at Pebbles thrown on top of that. We'll see what they end up doing. Again, that's really kind of a question as you're pointing out. It's like, are they going to run that short lane Swiftblade, or is it going to be the Suicide, or perhaps a jungle Cthulhu Font?
I don't know. I really think Cthulhu jungle. I mean, it can work, but I just don't rate it really. Just farms quite slow and doesn't have as like the hero's great in lane, put simply, from level 1.
Yeah.
Has the ability to, I guess. But I think we're going to see a short lane swift play. The short lane swift play can still really work. Can work quite well. I just think it might be better suicide, so it can free up the short lane for someone else. But we'll have to see.
45 seconds and counting here. Again, they got some good time left, so might as well put some good thought into it. Make sure they're comfortable overall with what they go with. Of course, the support option at this point is definitely something they'll be looking at, and there you go. Pyromancer picked up. Very likely end up being a support here.
Yeah, I mean, Pyromancer support is great. I mean, it can work quite well with Pebbles. I mean, the perfect combo, I think, is Magmus and Pyro. The reason being is because the Magmus lead stun is just so great to follow up with the Pyromancer Dragonfire. I guess he can sort of join it up with obviously the Pebbles combo as well, but it's not as easy to sort of hit obviously than the Magmus stun.
Wow, seeing Kraken actually still available at this point, pretty surprising in the first place, but Reason Gaming will gladly pick up Kraken. You see right there, I mean, one of the most picked up heroes right now in competitive play for great reason. The fact that he's been picked up that many times, just about sitting about half and half win percentage, just slightly over even that 50-50 win percentage. So. But Reason probably feeling pretty good. The fact that they were able to get him right there. And then we'll see who they finish off with. And most likely a hard carry option is probably what we'll be seeing here from Reason.
Yeah, Bushwhack's on the board, actually. I think we might see Bushwhack.
Yeah.
Bushwhack plus Embath is a big combo. Like, it's so much mobility, so much sort of way to sort of kite around. And outside of really the Pebbles combo, there's not much that can really catch Bushwhack. To be honest, so for the last pick from Nelson, though, I think they're gonna have to pick a secondary support unless they want to run jungle Cthulhu, but they need something that is decent early to mid, and Solstice can work in that respect. So it's going to be jungle Solstice then, Suicide Cthulhu, short lane, Swiftblade. It needs a lot of farm on Nullstone though, to be fair.
Yeah.
But Solstice, Swiftblade, Pebbles, and even Cthulhu need a little bit of farm, to be honest. And I mean, there's a lot of early rotations from Reason that could definitely backfire if Nullstone don't have good laning stages of the game. And they could lose them, honestly. Like, Chip is a great laning hero, so is Kraken, and even Magmus as well. So Nullstone might be shooting themselves in the foot with that pick, but we'll have to see. Reason, I think it's got to be Bushwhack, unless they want to run Dark Lady, but I don't see Immobile playing a lot of Dark Lady. I think he likes picking up those, those Bushwhack, right click.
Yeah, again, we saw that ban last game, and it's, it seems like a hero that Imba would definitely like to play. When it comes to farming, he really is up there with the best of them. But it would work decent as well. Like, a lot of the cores are melees, like Swiftblade, Solstice, and Pebbles, all melee cores, and Bushwhack can really take advantage of the mobility factor, plus the empath as well. Like I said, Pebbles is the only combo, so it's going to be it. Like, Pebbles is the only sort of combo that can sort of lock him down, and maybe, you've got the Solstice charge as well, but that can be stopped with a good empath wall. So, yeah, I think the Bushwhack is going to be a really impactful hero this game, actually. Bushwhack, you see right there, has been played 3 games. I mean, even being 1-2, he has 580 GPM average, despite being 1-2 record. So, clearly a hero. The idea is that you are going to get some very good farm on him. It's just ultimately will that result in a win. That's what Reason's hoping for here. And we'll have to wait and see how the match is up. But boy, oh boy, do they got a tough task. Again, the lineup of Nullstone. They got very powerful heroes over there, especially in the likes of Swiftblade and Cthulhu that they started off with. And that really does go back. You look back at the draft, and if this ends up being, especially in Nullstone's favor, you kind of look back and be like, well, they valued the Magmus over that Swiftblade, and maybe that's where that bit them in the ass. But yeah, there's still a whole game to play now. So we'll see how that ends up working out here. As far as the lanes go, you got Kraken heading towards bottom. You got Empath, Chipper middle so far. And then Magmus going to be babysit support for Imbaboy, it looks like, up top.
Similar to game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Reason do have a good sort of timing here, but they need to sort of dominate their lanes against Nullstone, and I think they have the ability to do that. Bushwhack and Empath top is going to be a really hard lane for Swiftblade if he's not careful. Middle lane won't be the easiest either, actually, because obviously they're going against Chipper most likely. Obviously they have the Pebbles Pyro combo, but Pyro isn't the greatest zoning support compared to, say, like Aluna, for example, so Chipper should do fine. And then you've got Swiftblade versus Kraken, and that lane will be pretty even as well, so it's going to be up to these lanes, I think, from Nullstone.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Reason Gaming apparently not the most success with Kraken, which is very surprising again.
We've seen a lot of mischarged, man. We've seen a lot of mischarges.
There has been quite a bit of them, and it is kind of funny to see a hero that's so iconic, at least right now in the competitive scene. But Zane going to be playing it here again. Definitely a very strong support, or more so suicide player himself, and I'm sure looking forward to seeing him make some big plays with it, and Reason Gaming is as well. But we'll have to wait and see how that ultimately turns out. What you got on Solstice? I bet you he's hoping for a much better game than he had in what was game number 1 overall. I mean, it just seemed like he never was really able to do tell. I don't even remember him landing a big ultimate, honestly, in game number 1 that at least stood out. So, you know, landing the Breath of Soul, the Lunar Judgment, depending on the time of the day, can be pretty impactful for winning these team fights here. So it's a matter of if he and when he gets that opportunity. But yeah, as you're mentioning, we got Magnus do the creep pull up here. Bushwhack and Empath going to be in the lane instead. And wow, look at Cthulhu really taking the creep way back all the way here, because the push that happens due to the creep pull that was taken by Magnus. How about that too? The wall off kind of coming out right there from Empath, slowing it down a little bit.
A bit of a fail, but still fun. I think he just didn't want to he didn't want Cthulhu to get that last hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was the idea. But Chipper is going to be 1 versus 2 versus this Pebbles Pyromancer. So Chipper, he's going to keep his distance here. Doesn't want to get caught by a Stalagmite or a Dragonfire stun, because that could easily result in a kill if so. Look at Cthulhu Fun now. He's going to go into the jungle and actually harass Magnus a little bit right here.
Yeah, I don't think Empath can do much about it either, though. Like, look how tanky Cthulhu is. He's like, yeah, whatever. Like, he's got stun as well. Yeah, like he's got stun as well. Like, he could actually potentially kill him. They need to bring either Chipper or Bushwhack over, but bringing them over this early in the game is just too much. It's too, like, they wouldn't obtain too much. Yeah, Cthulhu, man, this is the hero.
Huh,
like, it takes like two heroes to sort of lock down this Cthulhu, put simply, and they're not even knocking him down that much.
Exactly. It's
ridiculous.
He's still able to at least get a little bit and kind of keep them on their toes, but in the end, Magnus gonna have or gonna continue to pull the creep wave here, at least the archer that he has left, and farm what he can more. Cthulhu Fun is using a little bit of time. You know, he's gonna go to the refreshment rune up top at least and pick that up. So yeah, as strong as these two heroes are, you see right there Quincy pointing out, it's not like they're crazy overpowered as far as the record goes, but bottom lane Swift Blade, he's gonna be caught out. Hatred on a Chipper. This should be a Bloodlust. Chipper, one more rocket. He doesn't have the mana for it actually. Oh, and he's gonna miss right there. So never mind about the Bloodlust. Just not enough mana for a rocket as when he was closer at least, and Beaver being able to avoid death right there. As a result, that's big. That could have easily been a Bloodlust, but now Chipper is going all the way back to base too, so it's going to slow down Reason Gaming a little bit here early on.
Swiftblade still has to play quite passive though. He's like got only 50% HP because of that. So although he didn't get the kill, it's still a decent result for Reason, to be honest.
Yeah. You got Bushwhack here though. He's again the idea that he is at least going to have a good time here for Reason. Kind of a 4-1 strat coming out, and that's what Reason Gaming likes to do, of course. Get him the farm early on. The rest of the team plays very active around him, and they most certainly got the makeup for that. But eventually he'll join the party and be able to dish out some big, big damage. Because, yeah, Bushwhack just doesn't seem like the most impactful hero for... I mean, yes and no. I mean, he has decent mobility, of course, with the sidestep. And its Crippling Dart is actually a pretty powerful single-target ability. I mean, he can be an assistant of kills, but when it comes to big team fight potential, you know, he's not really the best until later on in the game, where he's got that good farm and the splinter shots putting out some good damage.
Yeah, he needs items to be useful, put simply. Like, even Clanks without items can be a little bit useful, because obviously he's E&R, do a lot of the damage, but Bushwhack is so important. And he's got like a lot of physical damage as well, so decent against Swiftblade in that respect. So, yeah, the hero is very, very strong. But like I said, needs a lot of farm, because obviously the dart goes through the spin. So
yeah,
a decent hero against Swiftblade in the late game.
Fuzzy Sloth, you see up here, he's used that hook him, and we're running on out. Not sure exactly what he got the hook him off on, but I'm sure it was one of the creeps that Magnus was hoping to finish off here. Goes back to just being the annoyance that he can't be, and I think that's the biggest thing too, is that the fact that he can get the levels so well now. With that said, Kraken's managing to keep up in the levels, doing a pretty good time down here. In fact, Kraken, he's okay. Well, yeah, experience is actually the highest experience by a lot. At least early on in the game, he's the highest right now, so he's actually even going to be level 5 here shortly. He's also winning the farm against Swiftblade here. Again, he has a splash auto attack, so I guess I really shouldn't be too surprised, but
I think it's mainly because Chipper rotated down bottom though. Like it did force Swiftblade all the way back. Like he was sort of staying around, but he couldn't really see us effectively just because of Chipper though. So that's mainly why.
Yeah. See Swiftblade currently at half-life. Doesn't have any regen on him. Are those his boots? I can't tell right now, but boots are being... Oh, it looks like those are being delivered to Solstice here, actually. Going to allow him to possibly try to get active early on, but again, you know, him and Swiftblade, Kraken with that charge, probably...
Yeah, I think if he's going to gank anyway, he's going to gank mid on Chipper.
True.
Chipper is such an easy kill here, but they need the sort of setup because Pebble's stun isn't the greatest range until level 6 on enlarge, so and Pyro isn't going to be able to hit a stun into a lead stun. That's why normally you see Pyro plus Magnus. I mean Pyro plus Pebbles is good, but more against dual lanes because like against a dual lane you're more likely to hit stuns, but against a defensive solo it's going to be hard to really get your spells off on him. Obviously, if they do, they're going to kill Chipper without a doubt. But.
So we're zooming back in here. Again, you see Solstice getting the boots. He's just going to continue to farm away, though, on what is currently the Wild Hunter camp right there. He's level 3 so far, and overall, again, pretty slower start. We'll see if that continues to pick up here for him. But the one victory was against the Swiftblade.
Decent hero against him, that's why.
Yeah.
Like, he can dodge, obviously he can, the sidestep is decent against the Blade Frenzy as well, because he can just jump away from it, and the Q goes through spin as well, so
yeah.
Overall, decent hero.
Middle lane, Chipper. Well, throwing some rockets right there, and again, keeping his distance, though. You talk about Solstice possibly looking to gank middle. In the vicinity there, going for the bottom rune, if anything, but in the end, the ward of sight, giving plenty of vision for Chipper.
Solstice is farming really slowly.
Yeah.
190 compared to 270 on Magnus, like, it's pretty ridiculous actually. And we might even see a rotation from Magnus plus Empath. They might be able to kill the Pyro. I don't know if they could drop the Pebbles perhaps, but it depends. If Chipper gets level 6, then they might be able to kill the Pebbles, but they should definitely try and rotate over and gank middle lane because Chipper does need a little bit of a better time because he's struggling very, very hard in this middle lane.
Well, I also find the boots first a little curious. I mean, boots, you know, if you're going for ganks and everything, which he kind of is, in fact, he's going to try for something right here, but he's stating earlier, I don't know if they're going to be able to kill Kraken, man. Level 5 Kraken.
Swiftblade will die, I think. Like,
yeah, there's level 6 Kraken now. You do not want to fight this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get back. But I was gonna, you know, usually we may see the gloves of the Swift, if anything, to help us farm a little bit earlier on. But he's still going around, and actually Magnus now coming in even. Solstice, yeah, he's in trouble. There's the charge, there's the stun. The auto attack to follow. He gets his own stun off. Is that going to be enough distance is the question. The rocket's coming out. The rocket lands, release the Kraken. It pulls in Swiftblade as well. Swiftblade with the spin. Maybe goes for a counter kill. We'll get the one on Magnus, but the final auto attack to finish him off. A double tap for Embry, playing Chipper when it's all said and done. I mean, we kind of saw that happening, though, for the most part. The fact that they got one kill is good, but yeah, that ended pretty much as planned for Reason Gaming.
Yeah. Just good rotation, and this is what happens. Like, when you get a secondary support that has that much, farm and that much XP, like I know he's only got 240 now, but before he's at 280. Level 5, 6 minutes in on a secondary support is a big deal, honestly, and just good rotation as well. Gives Chipper 2 of those kills as well, so he's definitely back on track. 250 GPM.
Yeah.
Good lane rotations, and this is what I was saying. Like the lane rotations from Null, it's almost non-existent. Solstice can't do too much until he gets high level because the blinding rush is just kind of very, very weak at early levels, and Dragon and Pyromancer can't really do too much unless he has a lead stun either. So the laning phase of his Nullstone was meant to be going badly, to be honest, and it's just good that Reason are exploiting this as a result.
Yeah, Reason apparently the only team so far in those 3 games that happens to be all on there. Making the 4th game now with the Bushwhack, but also something, again, one of these small things every now and then when we happen to see it. You see, we saw Chipper right there actually dropped his intelligence stat items, the Mark of the Novice, as he's using his bottle charges right there just to maximize the amount of mana he gets back and picks them up right after. So, it's, again, just doing small things like that to help out in every which way. To give yourself a nice advantage earlier on. And actually now in the jungle with Magnus right here, they were maybe trying to find Cthulhuphon up here, but he's actually in the lane as we see. So not much to be found right there as he's level 6, and Again, quite tanky, of course, especially with that Hook'em active. So Hook'em level 3 right now, in fact, and I'm sure going to be maxing that out here to get that cooldown as low as possible, as well as increase the damage and the mitigation on it. Kraken, he's looking around. He's got to release the Kraken once again. Yeah, if he finds Solstice, that could be another kill. However, they're going to go for a turn on him. Solstice even charging in.
Oh, he's
This
so
is risky.
dead.
Okay, yeah, he charges
Yeah,
away. There's the charge from Solstice. Swift Slash just comes out, release the Kraken. Ooh, a good attempt, but yeah. The chase is too powerful there.
Yeah, it's, like, the only reason why the last engagement works so well for Kraken is because Swiftly wasn't level 6. He was only level 5 at the time, but now level 6, man. Clicks that R button. Lets it rip.
Presses R, clicks on a hero, and wins the game. No, it's not that easy, I promise.
It is
Close.
pretty easy.
Close, though. No, he's got the Ghost Marcher still, Beaver Banger. And yeah, it's got to be feeling pretty good about that kill, especially with what happened earlier. So again, him and now, especially Pebbles has been just quietly almost doing his own thing. Shola Simeon here, he's 350 gold per minute plus, 1,900 gold saved up. So he's actually going for the portal key right here. I mean, he only has a Pretender's Crown as well as a bottle for that regen go. So yeah, a little bit early on stats, but
They need some kind of tempo control in this game, though. And if he goes Steam Boots, he's going to get Portal Key really late. If he gets it now, like, he could get one big pick off and be almost like 500 gold away from his Steam Boots anyway. So I do like the pickup there. It's going to perhaps be bad, like, in terms of, like, if he jumps someone and then doesn't kill them, then he's going to be in a bad situation. But if he gets one pick off with the Portal Key, it'd be very, very good. And they need some kind of way to open up the map because Solstice doesn't do anything, and neither is Pyromancer.
Top lane. Yep, cut through the fun. Didn't stand a chance right there. They dove on him, and he couldn't do much else. It looked like he already used the trample at that point, kind of caught that halfway through. But Bushwhack able to finish him off with those auto attacks, and Imboboy gets credit for the kill, and here comes that tower push now on top of that. So very good news here for Reason Gaming. You also got, look at this, Kraken hanging around. He got a word aside in the background. He's going to actually join them most likely. Well, no, never mind. He's kind of eating through the trees, getting a little bit closer. He still should be hidden, though. But as okay, there's the TP. I was going to say no one was coming, but there's the TP. Is that Cthulhu Fund? It looks like it
again?
is.
Oh, God.
Now, he has a trample, of course, this time. Can he use it appropriately is the question, though. It's going to be a tough task for him, so we'll see if Fuzzy's lost.
Well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pebbles. He's also coming. He's got the portal key. In fact, there's a trample and a charge happening at the same time. Kind of one of those back and forth. Wall from Empath blocking up Pyromancer, but Pebbles, a big three-man start coming out with the chuck on top. What a combo coming out right there. Kraken ends up falling. He got his release to Kraken off, but it just slows them, if anything. Empath now, she's being chased down. Swiftblade a little bit faster. He's got Ghost Marchers up in 1 second. That should be at least another kill. You got Magnus nearby, but if he goes in now, he doesn't even mana for it. Rockets, no, gonna miss. And Empath goes down. A double tap for Beaverbanger. What a jump, though, with that portal key.
That was insane.
That's exactly why I got it this early on, man.
Yep. Pick up portal key early on and make plays like that. And he can just go back mid and finish off his Steam Boots. And then from there, he can just go around and start making plays. Like, a portal key, like, 10 minutes in is just so impactful and so useful. Just because of, you know, situations like that, for example, as you said. And now, like, Chipper can instantly die, Magnus can instantly die, Bushwhack can probably instantly die as well if he's not careful. So, yeah, this Pebbles early portal key is going to be a big issue. I'd actually like to see him farm the jungle and maybe Philippant maybe take mid. The reason being is because if Pebbles is off the map, then Reason has to play completely different, and he can still secure the Steam Boots, for example. And it does look like he might be doing that, actually, but we'll have to see. Oh, Empath, you're dead.
Haste rune, but maybe?
One more.
I think she might be.
Yep,
no.
dead.
Just enough damage. That auto attack, of course, powerful within a large leveled up, especially. So, you know, it's not able to escape, even though she picked up that haste rune right there. It's a good find, definitely coming out. We're going to see or get an idea more and more of what Bushback's potential is, though. He's got that Thunderclaw, similar to Clanks once again. As far as the starting farm, oh, Kraken, he's in a lot of trouble. Oh, he's going to be fine in the end, but. You can be very careful right there. Feldrock coming out, though. They're looking for a response. Chippers here. Yeah, Kraken was clearly trying to bait, but I think he went in a little too early right there. Trying to bait out Swiftblade. And actually, the team reaction wasn't able to get there in time. But, oh, Magnus in a pretty good spot. Swiftblade, he's diving. He wants to go for the chase on a Chipper. And now Chipper's kind of in an awkward spot, though, because, yeah, Pyromancer and Solstice coming in for the side.
Chipper is so dead.
He's going to go to the Ancients. Oh. I don't know. I think he should be fine here, yeah. Just out of range. Yeah, but a double damage spawns for Pebbles. He'll take that.
Oh,
right there, 12 minutes. So it's just so tense down here. Yep. I mean, that was back and forth. Empath here. There's the jump from Pebbles. Double damage active. Magnus going to feel the brunt of that. And Swift just comes out. It bounces on multiple heroes. They get the kill on Magnus there. Now Swiftblade, though, needs to be careful. There's that crippling dart. It goes through, being the physical damage. Swiftblade, he's going to get turned on right here. Looks like this chainsaw's coming up, but it's not enough. Big Solstice ultimate from what you got. I mentioned earlier, he didn't have a big one last game. That was a big one right there. Double tap as a result. Lunar Judgment coming out. And, yeah, they just melted right there, so...
Bushwhack's so squishy, like he can't take this team fight. He's only got 730 HP, and that Lunar Judgment like needed all of his HP put simply. And as a result, obviously, a good team fight come out from Nullstone Gaming, and this is where it gets a little bit scary, honestly, though, because like I said, Nullstone, they need their farm, they need to get their items, but with team fights like that, like they're gonna get their items slowly but surely. Portal Key already picked that up now on Pebbles, and Sanitarius being worked on from Solstice, Firebrand closing in from some Swiftblade as well. And what a reason have, but they have Thunderclaw and Bushwhack, but that's about it. Like, Kraken is quite far away from his Portal Key because he needs the Steam Boots first, unlike the Pebbles. And Chipper has absolutely nothing either. So, I don't know, Nullstone could probably keep on taking these team fights, and there's nothing that Reason can really do.
Chipper is going to be caught right here, and yeah, that's going to be an easy Chipper kill. So, it's kind of funny. We're looking at these lineups, if anything, more so Reason Gaming's lineup, that this is going to be about active for them. It's been the opposite, though. Nullstone's been the one pretty active here for the most part. And I don't even know if it's necessarily been them moving, though. It's just more so them reacting. And obviously the Portal Key Pebbles. That's what really started this off.
Yeah, it's the Portal Key Pebbles that has had such big impacts in this game. Like, he's really utilised it well, obviously from top to ganks on empath, or ganks on mid, or ganks on bottom. Just had so much impact. And the Reason have nothing to really address it. Like, they don't have Portal Key on Kraken yet. They've got no Portal Key on Magnus, for example. And Bushwhack's too squishy to really be involved. Like, although he's got good farm, like, just isn't enough in terms of team fights because he's gone Thunderclaw instead.
Yeah. Middle lane, easy tower kill, and Sanitarius picked up by Solstice, and mentioned that earlier. It's hoping for his sake that he's going to have a better game, and most certainly is. Again, landed that big ultimate last fight, and now farming about 310 gold per minute, so Sanitarius is going to be delivered once that courier picks it up and brings it out to him. Reason Gaming, back to Bushwhack. You mentioned earlier, very, very squishy. Now he gets a Soul Stream Ring here, as well as Strength Steam Boost, so he's taking up a little bit, but still a lot of work to go. Actually even picks up a major totem here. Interesting. Okay, Energizer, duh. I was like, we're going to see a tablet, but no, that makes a lot more sense. Going to be going for that. Speaking of that, actually, Swiftblade also went Energizer himself and then into a Quick Blade here. So, usually we see, especially more of the short lane farmer, perhaps even the Suicide, more of like the Abyssal Skull farm and with the Energizer, sure, but choosing to go more of the Firebrand route here.
Maximus is setting up, I think. I might try and defend this top tier 1, but I don't think they can, though. Like, they have no way of really taking these two fights against a Pebbles Portal Kill. Talking of Pebbles, though, actually.
Was that middle lane? Oh, yeah. I thought he was up there, honestly, but no, he was in the middle lane, keeping himself occupied, and for good reason. Chipper once again found. And that's a top tower kill. Yeah, Magma scored no Portal Key either, so there really was no way he was going to do anything. That was just more so to escape, honestly, and make sure that he survived in the end, which he does, but... yeah, this momentum is getting out of hand now for Nullstone Gaming. They're just going to keep the pain train going. They're moving as a team through the jungle, and they're going to clear up a couple of the creep camps here. But again, it goes back to they know Reason Gaming just really struggling to being able to put up a fight right here. And a lot of that comes back to their carry of choice. We talked about it from the beginning. Bushwhack is not your team-involving carry earlier on. Similar to, say, even a Clanks, as you point out. I mean, even a Clanks, he's not your ideal, but even a little bit better than somebody like a Bushwhack. Bushwhack needs that farm. He needs those items. It's going to take time. And, with Reason Gaming's play right now, they haven't been able to buy him enough time. Chipper, he hasn't really had the biggest success here. Kraken, he's 0-2-2. He has a Portal Key now. They're trying to move around with the Veiled Rot, but you see here, that's not going to be a find. Nullstone going to make their way to the middle. And as a team, this is going to be a secondary tower kill most likely.
Yeah, and Portal Key on Kraken just doesn't have the same impact as the Portal Key Pebbles. So Portal Key Pebbles, he can go for pickoffs, he can go for ganks, whereas Kraken, like, he can't really, unless he commits the ultimate, but the ultimate's like only 2 minutes compared to like the combo of Pebbles, which is like 14 kind of thing. Yeah, they do, similar damage with similar gank potential. And so, as a result, unless they want to start team fights, then Kraken just isn't going to have a big impact either. And they can't take team fights because Bushwhack's too squishy, put simply. They need at least a stronger head on Bushwhack, and even then, he needs like another item, and like you said, like they haven't created enough space for him, unfortunately.
Swiftblade here. You see he's in a little bit of trouble, perhaps. There's that Portal Key. Kraken, a lug of the burst damage there. So despite the start not being the prettiest, they still have plenty of burst. They showed it off right there. Able to take out and catch the Swift Blade at the bottom lane. Great setup on their part, too. They were hitting the whole time. And Swift Blade had no clue.
A really good play if Nullstone could actually sort of, when Swiftblade is back up, instantly go bottom. Like, they'd take the tier 1 tower bot, they might even be able to take the tier 2 tower bot as well, because Kraken ultimate is still down for 80 seconds, and this is what I mean, they need to sort of play against the timings. Like, Pebbles can go for that kind of combo and still be ready to team fight 20 seconds later, but Kraken just simply can't, because, like, almost all of the team fight from Reason is going to be dependent on the release of the Kraken, because he's the one who's got the portal key. And without them having it, I think Nullstone could take a team fight. I would really like to see them just sort of start taking the team on bottom, but instead, probably looking for a gank on Reason, perhaps? I don't know.
Well, 390 go from his Swift Blade despite that death. He goes back up, and looks like he is going to porch to the bottom lane, but yeah, the rest of his team not really going to be joining him. Top lane, they're the ones pushing it out. Magnus is nearby, but Magnus is currently by himself.
Reason can't team fight though. They've got no portal key on Magnus. Chipper is too low level, and like so they don't have the release the Kraken. And Nelson are rotating over though, so I mean they are a little bit slow. But Empath though,
it's a rinse and repeat, man.
Again.
Pepple's yet another find. 4-0-3 here for Cholo Simeon. Again, the portal key of huge impact as you usually would expect. And this is going to be that bottom tower kill now. So a little bit slower, but yeah.
That's the timing push I was talking about though. Like if they were 20 seconds earlier, they could have even probably took the tier 2 tower, but now they might not be able to. Although they're going to maybe keep on pushing in. I mean, Chipper ultimate is down though, so they might be able to do it. And Bushwhack is, just, like I said, still not able to participate in team fights unless he wants to die. So yeah. So this is the timing push, and just good play coming out from Nullstone, realizing their timings, realizing the advantage they have over their enemies, and then as a result, pushing and capitalizing from it.
Nullstone doing their best again. They're really trying to force that third and final game, and right now it's looking like that could very likely happen. And now 19 minutes in, already a 9,300 gold lead and a 4,700 experience lead. So it's like I keep going back to. We are going to get to see the power of a Bushwhack. He's honestly, getting some okay farm, but so not really in a sense. The idea would be that, well, as long as he's doing well, how much damage can he actually do? But he's going to be going the Shrunken Head next. That's been the one critique so far, as he's been somewhat squishy, and obviously having a Shrunken Head will definitely help against that. But portal key also on Magnus. So I mean, this is actually a pretty good timing right here for possibly Reason to make something happen. You do see a little bit of poke damage by Nullstone on a Kongor, but they are not going to follow through with it. Instead, they'll clean up the middle a little bit.
I mean, they do have Abyssal on Solstice, though. I don't know. I mean, I guess it is risky. Obviously, they're fighting against Magma Disruption and Kraken Ultimate in very, very close in close space. But at the same time, I would like to see if Nullstone do start taking team fights before Shrunken Head is picked up on Bushwhack. I'd like to see Cholo Simeon just literally single out Inverboy, because like he might not be able to kill him, but he's going to zone him out of the team fight completely if he gets a combo on top of him.
Yeah. Over to the top lane, but not going to find anyone. There's that Frostburn now finished on Beaver Finger as well. So doing very, very definitely say almost an active. And yeah, I was talking about the Abyssal Skull possibility on him earlier, but yeah, it makes more sense. Seeing it on the Solstice, of course, as you just pointed out, has that anyway. So not necessary for him to get as well, of course. So Chipper, 1,100 gold saved up. Again, Embry hasn't had the prettiest game with farm. 3-2, not bad, but wanted to get perhaps even a portal key himself to follow up with both the Kraken and the Magnus. They're going to push out the bottom lane, but while they're doing that, Nullstone's going to push in a secondary tower top lane. So again, not really a favorable exchange for a recent gaming right here, but not much they can do at the same time. We're just not feeling confident really, especially with where they're at. So they're going to basically give this up. They are going to push the first tower bot. I wonder if they're going to get it themselves, though. I can see. Well, no, Nullstone will probably keep going, definitely. Yeah. They're going to get the tower kill. Will they?
I guess they are. Yeah, I guess they're really respecting the Magnus portal key and the Kraken portal key as well. It's understandable, I guess, but maybe they just don't realize how far ahead they are. But they are so far ahead, unless they're going to maybe rotate over to Kongor. But one thing's for certain, they need. I think they need Bound on Pyro or on Solstice, because like I mentioned it before in the last game, but just particularly Bound Eye is obviously good throughout the map, but particularly in Kongor, like you can wipe the whole Kongor vision. Like before, Bound Eye had that change. Like, you couldn't. I mean, obviously you could, but it's not the same guarantee kind of thing. With the Bound Eye, it's 100% guaranteed that there's no wards in Kongor. So.
Yeah.
Pyro does have 700 HP, 700 gold, sorry, but he's going to spam this ward anyway. So.
Good counter warding. There we go. Is he going to get caught? Nope, he's going to be fine. Build rock coming out from Kraken.
Ooh,
But
Kraken.
there's a loser
Hell's
over there.
DD.
Yeah. You see a bottle up by Magnus coming out. Was it a double damage before?
Yeah, sorry, Pebbles has got DD. That's what I
Oh,
meant. I thought he
Pebbles
was gonna
has
go
double
in.
Oh, okay.
400 a hit, man. He
Yeah.
would have wrecked that Magnus if he caught hold of him.
Yeah. It was a level 2 enlarge, so hard hit. That's a fake Magnus. If they fall for that, I think they might actually. Yeah, they're going in. Yeah, they're gonna fall for it. That's a bit used right there. I don't know if they're gonna be able to counter though. No.
It's not the biggest. Like if Reason then counter initiated, then that would be big. But Nullstone, like I said, like that's the sort of beauty about Pebbles. Like he can commit that combo and do almost sort of similar damage to Kraken. But if Kraken releases, pops his ulti, then that would not be as good. But Nullstone they're gonna keep it safe. They are very much ahead. I'd like to see him push out all the lanes and then go for Kongor though, because then even if they don't have the bound eye, then at least they know when Reason are going to try and form a defense, because then they'd run past their own creep waves kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I need to push out mid particularly, but bottom and top is also useful to push out.
Again, 10,000 gold. And you see Quincy also pointing out right there as far as Nullstone's concerned. They're no stranger, at least recently, to Game 3s. Obviously, again, last cycle they had 4 different Game 3s. And, of course, this was the runner-up team from what was cycle number 5. They lost in the Grand Finals to Sync Esports. At least trying to get another attempt at that, possibly. But having to go through at least Reason Gaming now, then we'll be a losers bracket final matchup eventually, too. That'll be the earlier match tomorrow, of course. But Reason being up 1-0, so that's their fallback here in the end. Oh, misclick right there from Pyromats. I feel like we see supports do that, honestly, a bit. Actually misclicks his homecoming stone right there. So he won't have it, not the end of the world, but it could somewhat matter here if we see a little bit of counter pushing going on. But they are going to do Kongor, and that should be a pretty easy Kongor kill for Nullstone Gaming. There's 0 vision right here for Reason, of course, so it doesn't help this either. They probably have somewhat of an idea, though, especially since they pushed the top tower. No one's on the map, and no defense was put up, so there you go. Kongor goes down. There's a 5-minute token of life put on Swiftblade. And are they actually just going to go right for a push, it looks like? So why not, I guess? Push it out at least a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to push, though, they need to make sure that Swiftblade's the only one able to get jumped on them, because Magnus and Kraken, if they get like 2 or 3 man in those ultimates, they're going to easily win the team fight. Need to make sure that they have decent diamond sort of position in terms of when they're sieging their base.
Yeah, Bushwhack, he's got that shrunken head, of course, so he's got a missing vestments on top of that, so yeah, he's really come a long way, since you mentioned earlier about him being very, very squishy. And again, that on top of the sidestep ability, it does give him some good survivability chances now at this point. But and his crippling dart is based off his attack damage, right? So yeah, he's not doing the most attack damage right now.
That'll increase though when he picks up maybe like this. When he picks up maybe like the Geos into the Savage into like Wingbow, for example, then he'll start doing a lot of work. But he's got the stronger now. That was a guarantee, put simply. So at least now he can go into the team fights knowing that Pebbles combo won't wreck you in team fights, or like Blazing Strike from Pyromancer. So.
Sorry about that. Sneezes coming up. What is this? Glowstone, yeah, we are going to see a Staff of the Master on Chipper. So to sign the pass with the portal key, they figure they already got a good amount of initiation, of course. And
yeah, exactly. I think they need the damage, like, because Bushwhack, he's got good farming items, but he does, like you said before, Break, he does do a lot of damage, and they need the damage, and that's going to come from Chipper most likely, if they can catch him. But I still can't get over the fact that this Swiftblade, he's like got a lot of farm, and I don't think they have no way of really dealing with him outside of the crippling dart from Bushwhack. There's no way they can really deal with him, and Bushwhack isn't doing a lot of damage either. Just that hero, man, is so hard to counter and so hard to address, particularly when he's got this much farm.
Yeah, again, Bushwhack up there, nearly 380 gold per minute, but exactly, goes back to his damage output is not the best right now because of how he's decided to build here, understandably so, at this point. This really does kind of go back to this this draft here. Of course, Nullstone, they got both Swiftblade and Cthulhu Farm, making a point. It's like, oh, that could backfire. Again, they're in a very good spot, so you can almost say it is to an extent, but at the same time, I mean, there's no doubt a lot of this has been on Pebbles, once again, and his portal key pickup.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Really, you could argue may not have even mattered. Middle lane, that's an illusion, Pebbles. He's trying to get back at them, and it's going to work somewhat. Release the Kraken. No, he's not. I thought he was. That would have been
been
big.
really bad.
But no,
That could have been high ground. Although they might try and counter the Chipper. Oh god, Chipper.
They're gonna go for a catch. Swiftblade charging in.
Did
Kraken.
they not see him? Oh.
I think they just want to get the better cutoff right here, and they are. Yep, Kraken gets killed. And does he have a buyback?
either.
He does not.
That could be Rax, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
Bot is pushing in. It's already damaged by like 70%, so... Yeah.
Seeking through the front, already leading the way. That's what he can do. He's got a Soul's Bulwark now on top of the Plate of Greaves, so he's extra tanky on top of being really tanky with the hook him alone. So it's a ridiculous skill set once again, and he's feeling pretty good about leading the way. Now, only 20 more seconds left for Zane to resurrect right here. Of course, it still is somewhat earlier on, so he's on level 12. But, oh, that's a quick pick onto Empath right there. 5 Pebbles, I feel like we've seen that like 20 times this game.
Yeah.
A bit less than that, but still, it's been a lot. And this should be a tower kill at least. Rax kill, they're probably going to be able to fight it off, though. It's still a little bit too early on to maybe go full throttle. Swiftblade, he's may fall, actually. Yeah, he's going to use a token of life, so at least they get something out of it there. I don't know if I had much time remaining on it, to be fair, but still, they're going to force them definitely with that to, yeah, ultimately fall back here. So, did they? Wow, they didn't even kill the tower, did they? They actually managed to save the tower as low as it is. It might still even fall. No. The Archer, not MVP there, so tower just
TPS
barely
priceless, chucking his body in front of the tower.
Yeah, right.
He hasn't even got boots, man. Nearly 30-minute game without boots.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
4 minor
The
totems,
struggle
though,
is
man.
real. The struggle is real.
Yeah, this goes back to
my
that
God.
statement I made last game. It was like, there's nothing wrong with giving a little more gold to supports.
No
And
boots.
that ward change next patch is at least going to help that a little bit. So,
Give him an extra 50 gold.
yeah. Hey, it can add up.
Oh god.
But yeah, clearly Nullstone just continues to be in complete control of what is game number 2 here at this point. And I do want to reiterate, guys, again, as far as the winter bracket finals go, that's, as always, it's going to ultimately start when this series finishes. So if we do happen to go to game 3 here, which it looks like we could possibly do so, then the winter bracket finals set to start in about a half an hour. It would definitely be delayed until this series is over here. So just a heads up between Sink and Tree. Look at this, the Veiled Rot coming out. 4-man Veiled Rot, of course, Empath inside of Bushwhack. So really everyone has it up here. Swiftblade, oh, that if they, man, like 5 seconds earlier, that could have been an easy kill on the Swiftblade, but manages to get out before anything happens, and that's just going to not work out at the end.
It's a little bit obvious, though, like, no one's farming lanes mid, no one's farming lanes bottom, no one's farming lanes top. I think now somewhat know what's going on. Yeah, they're just grouping up, going up top, and so if they do bump into the smoke gate, then they can fight them, but...
Yeah.
Dodging their jungle entirely because they know what's going up. They're not stupid.
They've played this game once or twice before. So, yeah, they pick up on that. You do see the Dancing Blade picked up on Swiftblade. The Wing Bow definitely in the works here for him. So, and that's definitely a very good pickup, especially against the likes of a Bushwhack who's not even close to a Savage Mace at this point. So, I think it makes a lot of sense here.
And I think the counter-attack works well with the counter-attack from Eagle, from Wingbow as well. The double, because obviously he's melee, so he gets the redirect from the Wingbow, but also from the counter-attack as well, which is kind of cool with Swiftblade. So he's got like 60%, I think, or like, what is it, 55? Yeah, I think it's 55, because Wingbow is 25%, I believe.
Yeah, that's
25.
That's one of the abilities.
It's kind of cool.
Counterattack is one of the abilities that's getting nerfed to Swiftblade next patch, and I really think that's kind of just one of those almost underrated abilities to an extent on a Swiftblade, as powerful as he is all around. We used to even see players just completely pass up counterattack and just get stats instead. It's like, honestly, it's
good, man.
It's pretty
particularly
solid.
Against ranged heroes as well. It's really, really good.
It's going to return a good amount of damage, and in this case, especially against somebody like a Bushwhack who's going to be right-clicking, auto-attacking you, pretty quickly, ideally. So, yeah, it's almost like a mini barbed armor that's always active in a sense. So,
yep.
Bushwhack, more Veldrock coming out right here. They're going to keep trying to use it, and that's for good reason. They find Swiftblade. No, but that charge misses. The angle wasn't the best right there. Look at Swiftblade. He's going back in, but a gun coming across. It looks like burst damage. He gets the Swift, slashes off. Will he survive when it comes down, though? Trample coming out for Cthulhu. Swiftblade barely alive, and the poison's being enough. No, while the dodging coming out. Able to avoid the rockets, sidestep up in 6 seconds for Bushwhack, but he can't chase. And meanwhile, Magnuson cracking into falling. That's gotta hurt Reason Gaming. Yeah, they're like, okay, that was our chance to try to do something, but it's not gonna happen clearly. So
it's so ridiculous. Like Swiftblade jumps into 5 of Reason, and then he's still fine because he can just click R and then Q.
Yep.
Oh god.
manages to get away, man. So that means we got a game number 3 coming up. Yeah, again, Swift played Cthulhu Fun. It's always a deadly combo to give up in the end. But like we were talking about, I think Pebbles was more so the biggest factor there.
No, definitely.
As far as control
He
of that game.
completely ripped open the early game, and in the laning phase, like Nullstone honestly had probably the weaker laning stage. But the tri lane top wasn't too effective. They didn't get bushwhacked so much farm, and Magnus had decent farm, but when he came ganked bottom, kind of failed a little bit and didn't have that much of impact either. So, when you give Pebbles that come out of farm, he can make plays like that, and as he did. So, yeah, it's a good play overall.
Yeah.
And well played to Charlie Simeon. That was definitely MVP of that game.
Definitely. So, South America representing right there for America in general. No, congratulations though to Nullstone, and that does mean we're going to a game number 3, guys. So again, gonna go on a short break right here, but boy oh boy, we got a third game yet again coming up between Nullstone Gaming and Reason Gaming. And again, once that one's over, that'll lead into our winner bracket finals of Sync Esports versus Willowkeeper. We still got a lot of good haunt coming at you, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned, you do not want to miss it. We'll be right back. Game number 3 of this series coming up next here on Hauntcast.